the actual MMR limit for my set?
I have no idea.
Uh, oh yeah.
What now?
He was 10 MMR under the boundary.
Seriously?
Yeah, which is annoying.
Well, Drumheads was GM at one point, so that's kind of ridiculous. I thought GMs were banned.
Yeah, well, they're supposed to be.
They are?
They used to be at least. I don't know what the rules are like now, but
The
they're not good. I
rules
can tell
right
you
now
that.
are probably no rules.
They don't seem to be enforced too much. I was just getting a link.
Way ahead of you.
Well, I hope so. It's your stream.
Gonna drop an ad here as well, because why not? Here we go. Let's give our viewers some time, shall we? Might as well do a sound check. Can you say something?
No,
No? Why not?
because I don't want to.
I think you should be a bit louder, to be honest.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, that sounds reasonably good.
Yeah, I just moved my mic a little bit closer.
Yeah, see, it's easy like that. All right. Well, so CTL, huh? Week 4, season 20. Set 1 was a walkover, as usual. If you're gold and you're looking to play for a team, please join us. Because we could sure use you, because I'm starting to get pissed for giving up walkovers every week. Also, you might want to get online, Havoc,
Oh, yeah, that might help.
so we can maybe cast, you know. There we go. Into game 2 we go. As luck would have it, we're gonna cast ourselves first. First to me and then you.
Yay.
Yay. So you guys can see us throw games. We're very good at that.
Very, very good.
Let me just check something real quick. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that worked. All right, in the top right from PsiX Gaming's Academy, it's Mizatik.
And bottom left, playing for Allin. We have Fizbin. This is Eric.
ZVT. Yeah, I've been practicing my CVT all week, mainly the versus the cars build, which is Cyclone Hellion Pressure, timing push at 5 minutes without or at 6 minutes with upgrades. And I got so good at holding it that at some point I beat a Masters player in practice. And then I was very confident. So let's see if I get to use my newfound skill and confidence here versus Psionic Aptomat, who's building a barracks.
Yeah, nothing unusual so far. It's just a matter if he puts a command center on the high or low ground next. It's the only real choice.
Probably. Well, usually they put it on the low ground because they're cocky.
Yeah,
Since I'm not going 14 pool, it's not going to matter because I won't be
they're
able to put on pressure anyway.
they're too confident now. We need to change the meta so that they get scared again.
Yeah, it's time for Terran to be scared again because you really don't want to deal with a confident Terran. It's the worst thing ever.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Nope, it's sure not fun. Well, he's building a CC on the high ground actually, so I don't know what we are yapping about.
Yeah.
Also, is that a wall? I'm not sure that is actually closed there. That looks weird.
I don't know.
That looks
That is a
really
bit of
weird.
a strange wall.
Hmm.
It does look like a very big gap.
Well, then again, it's Terran.
Oh.
Ah, yeah, okay. He actually has. It was a very bad wall.
It's still a very bad wall.
Yeah.
Like, that is so vulnerable to Banelands.
So, Lings are waiting for the Reaper. Almost got him as well. Should have followed. Taking a quick third MI. Which is, of course, standard versus Terran because it's hard for Terran to put on early pressure.
Yeah, at least for another couple of minutes.
Well, he's gonna build Hellions right away, so he's gonna be pressuring right away. He's also going for the 1-1-1 build, which of course puts my training to shame.
Yeah, that's not the best outcome.
Rendering my preparation utterly useless is Misetic. Who, to be fair, he trained a lot for this match, so I guess he prepared more than one build. Now, of course, I'm scouting this, and I know, okay, there is not really cars build incoming, but there are two Hellions moving across the map. An SCV is poking away at my base. The Reaper here is attacking the Queens and getting cleaned up in the main. Hellions are trying to move in, getting deterred by the Queen. Second Queen moves out to help. And the third Hellion comes along. The fourth is on the way as well. But
Yeah,
with the two Queens...
that one queen managed to completely scare them away for a while.
Yeah, but with the two Queens, I guess I should be able to hold the ramp there.
You'd imagine so.
Unless he decides to just dive the fuck in, which he does.
It's a brave move, but I mean, Hellions are cheap, so
Yeah. He also gets drones for his troubles.
yeah, they're really tanky for how cheap they are, actually.
Yeah. Got 3 or 4 drones there. Not too bad for 4 Hellions, I guess, but also not a huge game changer, I'd suppose. Still pretty even in workers.
Yeah, it's really, really not doing great on economy though. Only got
Him?
yeah, you only got 3 SEVs at his natural.
Yeah, well, he's about equal, and also his SCVs are standing around where they built the buildings, so he's oversaturated in his main. The siege tank's on the wrong side of the wall.
Yeah, that's a very brave place to put a siege tank.
Banshee moving out. Luckily, I decided to build spores in almost all of my balances.
Yeah, I don't know why Zergs don't just build spores.
Well, it's
Like,
an investment. You don't want to spend
yeah,
drones for nothing.
it's not a big investment, and it protects you from so much. Like, there's so much that just one spore crawler can help stop.
Well, it's the same for Protoss with cannons. Do you always build cannons in your?
Usually, yes.
Okay.
Like normally, once we get a forge, we add cannons to each base.
Okay.
Like, unless like we've scouted, and there's definitely no reason not to.
Well, I saw in his match history that he likes to go cloak banshee, so I decided once I saw the starport, I decided to build spores just to
Ooh,
be
there's a
safe.
lucky banshee.
Yeah. Well,
Also a dead banshee.
it just exploded. I'm I have a pretty good map presence on his naturals. I know that he didn't expand yet, so I'm sort of expecting a push, which is why I'm starting unit production now. Or I hope
Yeah.
I would start unit production. He's also deciding to kill his own depot, or at least attack it. Which I mean, yeah, you can.
Well, you know he's not got a third base, so expecting an attack's a reasonable thing.
Yeah,
It's not a scary attack though.
well, it's two tanks and a Banshee and a couple of Marines, two SCVs as well, for whatever reason.
For repairs probably.
Probably.
But they're going to repair so slow it's probably not even going to matter.
Yeah, this Roach Ravager army should be able to clean this up without much problems.
Yeah, it depends on the position he takes.
Of course, I know he's on the high ground there now, so I can just walk up this ramp instead of the other ramp. And he will try to siege, and now his siege tanks are unprotected. Which is of course not good for the Terran.
Yeah, that's really not good. And the tank's still not shooting the units.
There we go, tank goes down, the roaches survive. And even the Banshee almost dies, it survives with 5 HP.
So does the queen. It survived with 3.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, well
it's
that was
regened
lucky.
a little bit now, but yeah,
That was very lucky. Going for his third now is Mizitic, as well as an additional 2 barracks for more units. He has quite a lot more orders standing up there, which he cannot pull down because his depots are, well, there we go. Depot still not repaired, by the way, still damaged. He's lucky it
yeah.
didn't burn, or else it would have burned down by now.
I know, like a few more points of damage and it would have started burning.
And utterly unaware of a second push coming out, am I? Now I see 2 medevacs in the Viking, if I saw it. The scan, of course, is always a big tell that there's a push coming. But this should get
Yeah,
cleaned up, especially if he moves the bio out. Or maybe not. I don't know. Well, I maybe should make a lot more units. I make 20 more Hydras. Although, in hindsight, the Lings would have probably been better because it's a really small army and the siege tanks can get killed quite fast with Lings.
yeah, and I think the problem is the Hydras don't have any meat shield really, because there's only some Ravagers which aren't exactly a meat shield. They're supposed to need one as well.
Yeah, and maybe 5 or 6 roaches.
Yeah. Ooh. And then you're walking into the worst engagement possible.
Yeah, that's how you throw a game, boys.
Ouch. Yeah, that. If you'd went up the other way like you did last time, then you probably could have won.
Probably. Well, it's
Because
always
he's.
easier if you see the
Yeah.
the observer view, right? But yeah, I should really find a coach that teaches me how to engage Terran armies or armies in general.
I
That would
think
probably
it's
help a
just
lot.
don't attack in a choke point or up a ramp. That's the basic rules I use, and it serves pretty well. Although like upper ramp, sometimes you don't have a choice, but choke points you can usually avoid. Yeah, that was an unfortunate engagement.
Yeah, That's how you throw a game. Up 2-0 is Psionic Aftermath. Moving
Yep.
on. Now you're on the judgment, in the judgment canceling.
Yeah. Something I do want to add. For
No, no,
some
no, no. You
reason,
don't get to
no,
defend
no,
yourself. No,
this
no,
is a bit
that's
of
not how this
information.
works.
For some reason, for about 10 minutes before we played our game, Blizzard would not load any ladder stats or match history.
Hmm.
And I don't know why. Like every time I was trying to go on his profile or any profile, it would just say, it would just continuously load.
Okay. Well, you may now introduce your opponent.
Yeah. In the bottom left for Psionic Aftermath playing 10, we've got Cosmic Hero.
In orange.
Yeah.
And in the top right, my good friend, X Total Havoc, playing for all inspiration in his favorite color, which is teal,
Always playing that if I get the option.
as a Protoss. Havoc.
It's gotten to the point where if my opponent takes it, depending on what mood I am, I will ask for it.
So,
That's how much I play as that colour.
so what's your game plan versus Terran?
Oh, don't die very early.
Well, that's a good game plan. I mean, you can win
That's
games with that.
basically my entire game plan. Because normally Terran's just proxy or cheese.
Okay.
If it goes into mid game, I'm in trouble. If I somehow survive mid game, then I'm probably going to win.
Okay.
It's just mid game is not my strong point in this matchup.
Why are
Because
you
I
not
just
putting your guys in gas, dude? There we go.
because I didn't need it.
Well, you were saturated, so.
Yeah.
So you don't take an early expansion versus Terran, I gather?
It depends on the map. On a map where the distance is quite long, then you can. But it's if they build the Reaper, then especially if it's proxied, then you're in trouble
Okay.
because you end up trying to defend against a Reaper with just probes for up to half a minute,
Hmm.
which doesn't go well.
No, no, it doesn't. I know that story. I sometimes forget to build my links and then I lose 4-5 probes to the Reaper, which always hurts quite a lot. This probe will go down. Did you see anything? Yeah, you saw. You saw what you needed to see, I guess. And taking his expansion now without any defense on the low ground, but I guess you don't need a wall with Terran because it only hinders you. Scouting
Yeah.
for something here, for the Reaper, of course. And he chucks you in his direction, so you almost get the Reaper. Ah, there we go, boom.
Yeah, I actually made that happen. I'm quite proud of that.
Yeah, I
Because
didn't even
I
scout
moved
your
the stalker.
didn't even scout your expansion. Well, of course he supposes you have one.
If I've only got one gate, then yeah, you know I've got an expansion. Otherwise, it's either that or I'm building like 4 buildings right outside your base. One of the two.
Yeah. Which you never do because you don't cheese, right?
I don't cheese. I like Allin, but not. I don't really cheese.
Because 20 Phoenix is not a cheese, right?
It's not actually,
Ah, faking
and
faking
it
a
was
third
only
is not a cheese either, right?
it was only 10 Phoenix, so shush.
Well, looks like Terran's going for a good old 2-1-1 actually. Okay. Looks like he's being aggressive, I guess.
Yeah, this is the sort of pushes I really struggle with, because Bio just has so much DPS, and Protoss just doesn't anymore with the Stalker.
Well, you should know that that's coming now, though, right? So,
Yeah, so
isn't
that's why I started getting ready for it, but
isn't
it's
Blinkstalker
still
a
hard
solution to this?
now
Why not?
because you can't really get enough Stalkers to deal with the Marina DPS. You have to sort of try and stop it in the middle of the map.
Okay.
It's hard. I honestly don't know how to deal with pushes like this. I just try my best.
Okay, so dear viewers, if you are a Protoss and you know how to stop this kind of pressure, marine pressure, please be a dear guy and help our Total Havoc out, okay? Oh, Mr. Sosa is watching. Hello, Mr. Sosa.
That one stalker really saved me here. Told me
Why?
about the
Because you
drop
saw the...
coming.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, like it was sitting right there, and two full medevacs flew over it.
That's also buying you another warp-in round of time, probably.
Probably, it did definitely delay him. So now
And
I
if you
can
pull
get my
all your
stalkers.
stalkers together, you should easily hold this, though.
You can't pull them all together because a lot of the time Terrans will change where they're going to attack if they know you've seen the medevacs.
Okay.
Like it's not uncommon for them to just head north and try and go into your main after it.
Well, you're doing quite okay there. This army should easily hold this little push here.
Yeah, it's gone okay so far. The first push is usually pretty hard to hold, but it's usually the if you don't kill a lot of Marines, it's usually the second push which is a lot harder to hold.
If you only had Blink, you could have totally killed those medevacs, man.
Blink takes a long time to research.
Yeah, you haven't even built the Twilight Council yet.
Yeah, because I don't have the control for Blink.
Hmm.
And it takes like 2 minutes to research. So a lot of the time it's not even ready unless you've like rushed it.
Scans your observer like a fucking pro. What the hell?
Yeah, that's a recurring theme, if I remember properly.
Okay.
He seems to find observers pretty well.
Well, of course, if they're moving, they're pretty easy to spot, so... I really
Yeah, I
wonder why you're
usually
not pushing across the map. You would totally own him with this army, I believe.
possibly, possibly not. Tanks are scary.
He's only got one tank out, so... Well, there's a second in his base, but... And you saw the push as well. That's very
Yep.
lucky, again. This is not scary at all if I look at your army. You easily got this. If you have a nice concave, it's no problem at all. Boom! Goes one medevac. Your zealots really should be in the front of your army though. But Terran retreats and you have time to drone your third.
Problem is I didn't want them at the front of my army because they don't have charge yet.
Ah, okay.
So they're basically just dead weight now. I warped them in a little bit too early.
More zealots. And Terran is coming with the push. 2 tanks and a shit ton of bio moving across the map. Still think you should have this though.
Yeah, it's not going badly so far.
I mean, you're gonna lose a pylon or two here, possibly the third. Nah, I shouldn't lose the third though. Although the DPS, of course, is very, very crazy.
Yeah.
See, why are you retreating?
Because you can't fight with the tanks there. Like, the tanks will annihilate an army like that, made up of only stalkers left. That's what the zealots are for.
Okay.
That's the DPS that tanks create against stalkers. Like, the whole army just evaporated.
Yeah, and your immortals were too far back to do anything against the tanks.
Yeah.
But now he's fighting outside the range of his tanks, so you easily take down a lot of units there. But he comes out with a supply lead, actually, out of this engagement, because he has his second army ready at home.
And he's still got his third working.
Yeah, which you, of course, didn't because it died.
Yeah. Can't really stop the turn in that choke point with tanks.
Yeah. Unless, of course, you see him early enough.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track of a turn though. They can move about so fast.
Yeah, they killed your observer as well. There's a lot of marauders now in this army. And now you're forced to fight in the choke point. But you have Storm, so... And you kill his push again. Maybe even get up your third. Meanwhile, he has a fourth.
The problem is the reinforcements. There's just a never-ending stream with turn.
Yeah, I don't know if some Zealot Warpins would be necessary here. I think you could do a lot with 4 Zealots, probably. Making more barracks is Terran, because barracks good. Can make men with gun. Also, Pisosa says you need to build more queens,
Yeah, definitely.
which I support.
One day I'll work out how to do that.
Well, now you're stuck fighting with Templars, which is probably not a good thing, although they just stormed everything to death.
I'm not bad with storms. It's just getting long enough to survive them without being behind is hard.
Yeah, but now your shield batteries are gone and you're still stuck
And
on 2 bases
still got,
essentially.
yeah, this is the beginning of the end.
You're now actually trying to do a run by with those zealots, I hope? Nope. Okay.
No. You can't run by with sensor towers. Because that's exactly what Terran needs is more vision when they have the all-seeing eye.
Yeah. That's how Terran works.
I don't understand why they need sensor towers. They do seem a tiny bit unfair.
Because they would
Like,
just die to harassment
no,
otherwise.
but every race has to deal with that.
Yeah, of course, but it's Terran. It's Blizzard's love child, buddy. That's how it
Like,
works.
every race has to deal with the fact if they aren't watching, they can just die. But for some reason, Terran gets a building that only costs like 150 minerals that lets them see everything over like a quarter of the entire map.
Yeah, that's how it works. Oh, to be fair, I don't see it used too much.
I see them all the time. In PvT, they're all the time.
Losing that Colossus was really annoying.
Yeah.
You clean it up again, but guess what? The next army is here.
It's the never-ending waves.
Yeah, Terran smells blood here. Of course, your army is very, very flimsy, and they don't have energy for storm, so it's gonna be tough. And now you turn them into Archons, which is probably too late, and the GG's called. Psystorm taking it up 3-0 versus Old Inspiration. What a sad day this is. Going on to set 4.
Yeah, it's not going well so far.
Nope.
We're struggling.
Nope. 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 This code. Who pawned lit yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Did very well.
Yes. That was
And he's playing in a matchup where he doesn't need a wall.
yeah.
It's even better for him.
In the bottom left, from Psionic Aftermath, we have Xenodactyl. Top left, actually. Okay.
Bottom right, we have the orange turn for Allin. Discord.
Our Terran boy going for the wall because he doesn't need a wall, but he's still gonna make a wall. Although, yes, he needs a wall versus Protoss, of course, because the annoying adepts will get into his base otherwise. So, of course,
Eh,
he needs a wall, man.
not really. Adepts don't do as much versus turn
That's
because
true.
all the SCVs take an extra shot to kill,
Yeah, it's
which is annoying. Like, why does turn get to be the only ones that survive?
well. To be fair, the Protoss extractor has like double or triple the HP of a Terran.
It's not that much.
It's crazy, actually. But they're gonna nerf that, so it's
It,
fine.
it does have 450, no, 400 more, but at the same time, it can't be fixed. Like,
Yeah. Well, neither can Zergs, though. It regenerates very, very
yeah,
slowly, but
but at least it's not permanent.
is this guy getting cannon rush here, or is this just some pro forma stuff anyway? Wasting 25 minerals to Xenodactyl here.
Yeah,
Off to a good start, even though he's chasing the probe with 2 SCVs.
yeah, it's not the best situation to have up two SCVs chasing it.
This is not gonna be a good wall, is it?
I don't understand what the Protoss is doing though.
This is not gonna be a good wall, is it?
Mm,
No, it's not. It's really not.
it's not. It's not looking promising so far.
Well, we're gonna see what he does. Well, Protoss is getting a cyber core and an expansion, so that does look quite normal to me.
Yeah, it's a really strange choice to put it there though. Like,
Oh well.
I mean, I know why it's to stop Reapers, but I mean, it's not going to inconvenience the Reaper to go 5 feet to the side.
Well, it's preference. I mean, why not do it?
On some maps, I can understand it. On this map, it doesn't make a huge amount.
Well, he's gonna corner the Reaper now. Oh no, he's not. This go very with the Reaper micro here, like a fucking god. Look at it.
Yeah.
Oh, Reaper gets a
You-
kill. Oh my god.
It's got
Oh
two
my
kills.
god, 2 kills even. Jesus, what a monster. What a monster
Yeah,
Discord has
it's not
become.
really possible to catch a Reaper with 4 probes.
Looks like the wall worked anyway. I shall be corrected.
It looks weird, but yeah, it does seem
It
to work.
works, I think. This is my favorite wall, by the way, because with bendings I can blow up the depot and the reactor at the same time. That's
Yeah.
like my favorite wall ever. So powerful. Drawing down 2 more racks, not playing around with factory shit, this code. He's gonna put the pressure on. Also going to be researching stuff soon. Meanwhile, the
Yeah.
Protoss is opting for Stalkers.
Well, with 3 rags, if it's got to be stemmed first. Like it has to be. Yeah.
Yeah, Stim
It
and
doesn't.
+1 attack.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to build anything apart from stem.
He's even
Although
gonna
the
get
sec,
combat shield.
yeah, the second tech lab is an interesting choice.
Well, looks like he's gonna build Marauders, because Marauder good unit versus Toss, let's be honest.
Very good, but his opponent is getting charge,
Well,
which is the exact thing you don't want them to be getting.
let's hope, yeah, he gets the shield instead of the grenade, I don't know why. I think concussive shells is a very strong upgrade versus charged zealots.
Yeah, he's building marines out the tech lab barracks, which is
Well, so he just gets him for the shield upgrade then. So +1 with shield and stim.
Reaper
And
does get another 2 kills as well.
where's the Reaper now? I don't see.
It went into the natural and got 2 more kills.
Nice. Well, meanwhile we have adepts in the main base of Terran, trying their best to kill some SCVs. Meanwhile, the army is like standing around and waiting. The adept shades out into the natural. Gets annihilated. There we go. And that's a lot of Marines already, so Tosh should know that something's up here. Something's not quite right. And he's sending out a drone to scout for stuff.
The Protoss's macro has been pretty bad though. Like he's only on 7 probes on his natural, and he's got full chrono boost energy on one Nexus nearly.
Okay.
Like that's like 7 chrono boosts he's got sitting.
Well,
Oh no, no, they're 50 now. So like three, nearly 4.
to be honest, this push might just outright kill him. Even if he gets the gold base now, that's not gonna matter.
Maybe.
Because
Um, with the charge lots, it could be hard. But the problem is there's no medivacs. So as soon as he stims, he's going to become very, very
yeah, well, I mean, there's only
bad
three
against
charge
charge lots.
slots, three Starkers and a Sentry and an Immortal. That's not the biggest army. Of course, there's 2 shield batteries, so
Oh, the
skip that.
immortal does run away.
Yeah, the Immortal's gonna get taken out in seconds because he's all alone. Also, the Zealots die immediately. And now it's only 3 Stalkers and a Sentry, and the shield batteries can't out heal the Terran army. He morphs in 3 more Zealots.
It
Loses
has
chunk.
reached the it has reached the point where the Terran is losing units to every hit nearly though.
Yeah, but he cleans up everything. And he should really take out the pylon, I feel, because then he couldn't warp in here. It's gonna scan the 2 observers, which I don't know why TOS would get 2 observers instead of a second immortal.
It does seem a bit strange.
Getting cleaned up is the push here. Did massive damage to the workers, of course. And the second, even bigger push is coming along. Pause was had, apparently.
Mm.
Yeah, there we go. And yeah, I'm mining with one single probe here. Maybe he's gonna pull. Yeah, look. He's gonna pull a Florencio and move his probes out to the gold base, which is now all of a sudden saturated. But yeah, he has a big ass fucking bio ball in front of his base again, and no units to defend.
And the immortal goes down as it takes one and only one shot.
Shield battery energy is gone as well now, and hunting for more probes is this code. This looks like he's gonna close out the game right here, right now. What's Xenodactyl gonna do here? I mean, he's mining a lot of minerals, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's not great though because he doesn't have the gateways to use it. I mean, they're just finishing up, but that's like 2 minutes too late.
Yeah, he's gonna have 5, 6 warpins now, but even with that, with the Terran inside your production, you're gonna have a trouble. You're gonna have a hard time here, especially if you bleed units like that, bleeding zealots. Nice move here from Disco, putting some marauders in front and going after the pylons because this will empower all of the production almost.
And attacking the rocks.
Oh well, you know, sometimes you have to do what you have to do, but in a lot of trouble here is Xenodactyl, holding on though, not giving up this easily.
Yeah,
GG.
game over.
On fucking fires, this code. Winning another one for the team. Putting it to 3-1. Good game, this code. Well played. Moving on to set 5, which is Nano. Get out.
Okay, bye.
There we go. And it's a ZVT. This time, actually, a Terran on the end of the Z. One of our Terran boys. It's Nano. In the top left, the purple Zerg. It's Psystorm, Psionics Aftermath, Kalen. Ah,
And in the bottom right, playing the green turn for all inspiration, we have Nano, who I do know hasn't been playing a lot recently.
well, we're gonna see
And
what he does here.
yeah, I'd expect him to be a bit rusty, but that doesn't mean anything. You can still win.
Well, he played some games versus me actually. He helped me practice a bit. In hindsight, you could say he was practicing for his match as well.
He used to help me practice a lot for mine,
Yeah, so he played games.
but yeah, now I'm just terrible against Turn. By far my worst matchup.
Did someone paint the heart of the
Hmm?
legacy of the void heart here,
Where?
or is it on the map? Like right below the Overlord in Zerg's expansion.
Yeah, it was probably Nano.
No, no, I think it. I don't know. Well,
I don't know. I've not seen a drone go there.
that's weird. Okay, it might be the map. I don't know.
No,
I've
it's not
never
on the
seen it
map.
though. Going for an expansion is Nano, and of course Zerg with the standard 17 hatch into gas pool. Going for the repair for the scouting is Nano. Already scouted, of course, with his SCV, so everything that was to see. No crazy. No. Sorry, he has a DVA announcer, which is just put me out of concept there for a second. No crazy stuff was seen. Of course, always good to know that the Zerg is not 12th pooling you.
It's always a nice thing.
I mean, it's not as strong as it used to be honest.
No, not really.
6th pool was a lot stronger than the 12th pool.
Yeah, but that was ridiculous.
I loved it. It's like,
Zerg didn't need any other build.
basically not. Well, he's gonna get some links for his troubles here, the Reaper, if he does a good job. Let's see. Can he get some links? Nope, he runs the fuck away. Nice overlord placement here by Callan. He's gonna see eventual move outs of the two front ramps from Nano here, which is of course very, very helpful versus Terran because you really want to know when he moves out with his army. And going for a 2-1 build here is Nano.
Yeah, it seems to be a favourite of Terrans recently. The 2-1-1.
Yeah, with
So
the
I'd expect to see a starport soon.
okay. You think it's the 2 medevac stim timing?
I mean, I know Nano does like it.
Well, I
Or
didn't know that
he
was a
used.
thing versus TOS as well.
Um, nah, it really, yeah, it's pretty powerful. The proxy 1-1-1 is a nightmare as well.
Okay.
That is a scary build to
So
hold.
they build everything as a proxy? Like a
Yeah,
factory react? Really? What
and
the
then
fuck?
start just build marines, tanks, and liberators, and it is so hard to stop.
Okay.
I don't know why a lot of Terrans don't do it anymore, but I'm really glad they don't because it was terrible to stop.
Well,
Like
that sounds awful.
the sieging power of siege tanks and liberators is crazy.
It
And
really
then
does
you've got
sound awful.
marines to stop you just running in.
Building a Baneling nest, taking 2 more gas here is Zerg. That's early gas, so he seems to want to do something. He's not even saturated on his 3rd. So I'm expecting pressure soon from Zerg. Because because he does know that Nano expanded, so he should be really droning his 3rd now. But I guess some pressure is nice, and 16 lings are being made currently.
Yeah, the opponent, the Zerg player, does seem to be playing reasonably defensively with a wall and a spine and
Yes,
quite a lot of lings early on.
maybe he's afraid for Hellions. Might be. He sees the Marines now, and also 2 Hellions. So yeah, it's gonna be a Hellion Marine push. 4 Hellions and a couple of Marines. It's actually a nice combination for Terran, I believe. Might do some nice drone damage. There are not too many drones on the 3rd this instant, and it's gonna be hard to get inside the main or expansion with this spine crawler in the wall. But droning up hard now is Zerg putting more targets out there for the Hellions.
Yeah, oh, turning them into Hellbats.
Maybe a bit early, But yeah, this hatch will most likely go down. So, and that's a huge pickup for Nano here. I mean, that puts him ahead tremendously. And
Yeah,
Kalen,
and now he just has to be careful not to lose his army.
yeah, I mean, oh, that
Ooh.
last hit was very bad. But still, I mean, he took down a hatch. He didn't kill too many workers, but he took down a hatch. That's gonna delay everything for Zerg. It's gonna delay the income. Uh, it's gonna delay the production. But going for a Baneling bust now is Kalen. Of course, he has to react, canceling the third again, drawing back the links, which is very good, buying the Terran some more time to defend, and really hope he has siege tanks here. Nope, he opted for Widow Mines, of which he has quite a lot, and he actually deterred the attack by attacking himself, which is very good for Nano.
Yeah, definitely. It needs all the time he can get to stop the Banelands.
Yeah, with this amount of Baneling, he can bust through both walls, actually. We need like 6 per depot. He currently has 12, so he could theoretically bust through both walls. But even busting through the first wall here and taking out those SCVs would deal a huge blow to the... Nice pickup there. And he will go into the main now, which of course it's a long way for Zerg to go around. Might well pick up the queen here or some drones.
Yeah, nice split attack, really.
Yeah,
Really making it hard for the Terran to defend.
for the Zerg to defend, yeah.
That's what I meant.
Well, it didn't do too much damage. He killed the queen in the main, and I think a couple of drones in the natural. For probably 6 or 7, which is nice.
It's not a bad investment.
No, doing very good so far is Nano. Killing the third twice. Doing damage with his drops. But he should really burrow his mines, you know.
Yeah, and
Ooh, opening
maybe
the
start
door.
thinking about a third as well.
Should you open the door? Close
Oh,
the door! Oh my god! No! Oh. Well, I mean, that killed everything, including Terran's stuff.
yeah, that
But,
went pretty.
I mean,
That went pretty badly for everybody.
there's only 3 Banes left, which are not going to take down a depot, especially not with Marines behind it. But, yeah, a last minute reaction there from Nano. But honestly, he's still in a very good spot. He's Nano here. He's got a decent income. But now there's Hydras out. And,
Oh, and he let the wall went down still.
yeah, I mean, that's it's just not good. The wall should be up, you know. And there should be a siege tank at least for defense.
Yeah, he does seem to have skimped on that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he's building a siege tank now, but I wonder if... I mean, he didn't do anything with the mines. I don't know what he wanted to do. If he wanted to do some crazy mine push with 6 or 7 Widow mines here. But I think a siege tank is really necessary for defense versus Zerg, because it's so hard for Zerg to engage into a sieged area.
It's hard for anybody to engage into a sieged area.
Probably.
Tanks
Probably
just
true.
provide such a powerful area denial. They might not attack fast, but it's fast enough.
Meanwhile, Zerg is taking his 4th, and Terran's still stuck on 2 base, trying to take his 3rd now. There's a scary ball of Ling Bane Hydra here for Kalen, which is going to be tough to defend with what little army Nano has. He seemed to have stopped making army for a while here, invested some in tech. We have a Liberator, 2 siege tanks out now. And it's going across the map with an army that's nowhere near big enough to do something against this crazy Hydra ball here.
Yeah, moving across with an army this small is asking to lose a lot.
Well, if he can get set up with the Widow Mines and the tanks, I think he might be okay, but there's a lot of links to deal with the tanks. And
Yeah. A lot of banelings as well.
nice link splits there. And, Banelings take out the tanks, the Marines, and the Hydras take out the rest. This push gets shut down hard.
That was painful, and now Nano's really far behind.
I mean, he has 2 Liberators and 2 tanks, but they're not set up yet. And trying to build a wall now is Nano. He's setting up the tanks, setting up the Liberators as well. And it's very hard for Zerg to attack into this, so for the moment, Nano is safe here. Until Zerg gets some more army together, and we'll probably get in the other way though. Because there's 3 entrances into this third location, of course.
Oh, and he's still not rebuilt the wall at the natural, even though he has 5 SCVs in there.
Yeah, and Zerg has now a Ling inside the base of Terran, which is in itself very annoying, and a huge ball of Lings and Banes and Hydras coming across the map here. Siege tanks trying to do their best, but without the bio support, it's gonna be very tough. And now the bio is lacking the tank support to take out the necessary armies here, but still holding on here is Nano. He's pushing back Zerg again.
Does catch quite a lot of Hydras on the retreat.
Yeah, that was a good hold here by Nano, even though it's down 40 supply now, which half of it is worker, half of it is army. Infestors is here, interesting choice.
I mean, with how little medevacs there is, it's a really good choice, because those Marines can die to a fungal pretty much.
Indeed. The question is, what will his hive tech be? He has hive tech now, currently only investing in the Ling upgrade as well as 3-3, which is almost done. Well, 3 armor really. Of course, being up in upgrades is phenomenal for Zerg. And you can see here the DPS for the Hydras is absolutely crazy if they have upgrades. Taking down the third here like it was nothing. And 1 siege tank's just not gonna be enough here to hold this off, and Nano GG's out, and Psionic Aftermath goes into the lead with 4-1 here.
Which is a victory for them.
Which is a victory for them. Still, we're gonna cast the rest of the games here, because I feel everybody's games should get casted always. Just because. Wouldn't want anybody to feel left out here, would we now?
Not really. It'd be a bit unfair.
And it's a TVT. And we have a Masters versus a Diamond. That doesn't seem fair now, does it?
Yeah, supposedly he got Diamond like the day before they played.
Master, yeah.
That's what I meant.
In the top left, we have all inspirations. Catalyst playing as a purple Terran.
Words are not my strong point tonight. And the bottom right, we have the orange Terran for Psionic Aftermath. We have Land Fear.
With a fear of lands.
I think a lot of people have that.
Why?
A lot of people don't like playing in front of a lot of people.
Well, you're not playing in front of a lot of people if you're going to a LAN. You're playing with a lot of other people usually.
Yeah, but there could be a lot of people watching the game.
Yeah, maybe.
And you know they're all close by.
Well, if you have social anxiety, then a LAN is definitely not for you. That's true.
Well, it's not just that. A lot of people don't deal well with pressure.
A much later gas here for Lanfear, but going to barracks instantly. Which looks a bit all-in-y to me.
Yeah, that's definitely not a standard opening. That
Well,
seems a bit more aggressive.
they're not proxied, which is good, but he takes a second gas now, so I'm guessing it's going to be Reapers. Finishing his wall here. Meanwhile, Catalyst looks like he's gonna take an expansion, which is very ballsy, of course, versus Terran. Because I imagine in a mirror matchup, if you take an expansion and your opponent doesn't, then you're in deep shit. That's what I suppose, anyway.
Yeah, I'd imagine it holds up pretty well. The two Reapers against one could get pretty out of hand quickly.
Yeah, especially if he continues the reproduction, which of course he will. And once you have 4 or 5
Ooh.
Reapers versus 2 or 3 Reapers, then things get ugly really
Well,
fast.
Catalyst's building a reactor, so he's not going to be able to make anything.
Well, Catalyst sees what's up here. And let's see how he reacts. He builds a second. No, he builds a factory immediately.
It
He
does
cancels the
cancel
reactor.
the. Yeah.
And there's currently 3 Reapers out. 4 and 5 being made. And he's moving across the map now. It's going to be a maximum of 2 Reapers out to defend this. Maybe a Hellion. Of course, he would really like a siege tank, but he cannot. Oh, he'll get the Cyclone, which is of course very strong versus anything really. And the second Reaper is out, but this one Reaper might get caught off guard here and will immediately evaporate if he doesn't take care. Ah,
Oh,
there we go.
shoots him
Mid-jump
out
here.
there. It was a nice grenade, but
Nice grenade. It's gonna take time until the Cyclone pops here. Where Terran is gonna be very vulnerable. Lots of SCVs are being very low on health here. And another Reaper joins the fray.
oh, they nearly
Oh,
got
they
cornered there.
almost cornered them, and out comes the Cyclone, the hero of the day, taking out every single Reaper here. But still more Reapers are pouring in.
Has done a lot of damage though.
Tremendous amount of damage.
Now a
24 to
10 worker
14
deficit.
workers, which is huge. Of course, he has a second base, so he can replenish his workers pretty quickly. But he doesn't know when the pressure will stop. Going into double expand, no, sorry, starport factory and an expansion here for Landfear. It's gonna use the factory as a production means for tech labs, so I'm supposing it's gonna be a Banshee play after. Or maybe battle cruisers, who knows? Might happen. So what that
Possibly.
will happen.
I would like to see that.
Yeah, me too.
I've not seen BCs in a while.
Nope. And it's gonna be a Banshee. Fair enough, Banshee could tune it. Those Cyclones are gonna defend pretty much anything that Landfear can throw at Catalyst at this moment, and catching up in workers is Catalyst. Of course, the double mule production here helps tremendously as well with the income. Only just finishing up his command center is Landfear here. So allowing Catalyst to almost catch up in workers. He's still going to be ahead in energy for quite a while. He builds his command center now. Orbital.
It doesn't have a lot to do with these two cyclones though.
Yeah, I mean, they're... Oh, they're actually attacking now. I almost missed that.
Ooh, does get one caught though by the SCVs.
And the second one as well, but it's taking down SCVs, which almost gets 2 more. But yeah, putting him actually ahead in the worker count for once here. His Catalyst, I think that was well worth it. Almost gets the Banshee, spots the Banshee, so he knows what he's up against. But researching Cloak now for Banshees as well as Stim and +1. So going ahead in the tech department here is Landfear, repairing the Banshee as well. And getting a factory and another Rex here as Catalyst. So mixed play, Bio and Cyclone probably.
Yeah, he just needs to try and avoid taking too much damage because his opponent's only now starting to get his natural started.
Yeah, I mean he's in a good spot. He was mining more, and he's ahead now in workers. So in the end, it panned out very well. It might put Landfear a bit ahead in tech because he had a higher income for a time. But right now, even getting a Raven with detection is Catalyst here, so gotta be in a great spot when the Cloak Banshees arrive.
Yeah, that should equal out pretty quickly because his opponent's only got 7 workers, whereas Catalyst's had his natural saturated for quite a while now.
Banshees come in here before the turrets finish, sadly. And with the Raven, of course, he can deter those. He will now finish those turrets, and then the Banshees can't really do anything here. And looks like we're going into mass marine production very soon here for Landfair. Not looking to drag this game out at all. He's building a lot of army. And Catalyst is looking for some damage now with his Cyclone squad.
This is a very hard position to break into, although he has unsieged the tanks, which is
Yeah, it seems to be
ideal for Catalyst.
yes, he seems to be moving out now. Of course, the Raven with the auto turret will help. Seeing the push coming though now should trigger him to siege up. Yeah, he sieges up at the entrance. And if he throws down an auto turret, I think he can draw some tank fire. But with the Banshee supporting, it's going to be a tough call. He only has 4 Marines to deal with those pesky Banshees. Because you don't really want to lock on.
If the Cyclones are shooting at the Banshees, they're not shooting at anything else.
Exactly. Still with a nice comfortable worker lead, this Catalyst here. Should maybe try to take a third, which he does now. I like it. But two Banshees are moving across the map again. And of course now we have 3 siege tanks out, which is very, very hard to break. I mean, Cyclones are not the toughest units at all.
Luckily, Catalyst does have missile turrets protecting his production as well, so these Banshees shouldn't be able to do too much.
No, he seems to be pretty much covered for defense here. Has probably had his one Banshee goes down. Has probably had his experiences with Banshees here in the ladder and everywhere. Boom.
Yeah, does manage to take down both of them, and only lost 1 SCV, 2 SCVs. Not a huge amount.
That was good. I mean, losing those Banshees really takes out the air support. Although I think they have outlived their usefulness once missile turrets are in play. So
I am slightly worried now though, because this looks like a very hard push to stop with just Cyclones.
yeah, especially once the tanks are sieged. Although that is a ridiculous number of Cyclones, and they scale really well.
So do Marines.
Yeah, exactly. Also, tacking up this rank is really not what you want.
Yeah, those Marines didn't even need the siege tanks.
That was probably the worst position you could have attacked at here, to be honest. And GG's as Catalyst.
Game over.
Game over.
It was going really well up until that point. I just think he got stuck on the Cyclones for too long.
Yeah, maybe he should have switched to siege tanks. That would probably help had he had 3 or 4 siege tanks out. But still, if you attack up those ramp, you're always gonna die.
Yeah.
I can testify to that. But it is of course hard. You don't know that the army is coming, so it's really unlucky. I mean, his enemy was as surprised as him to see that. In the bottom left, it's Psionics Aftermath. Pensai. Pink
Top
circle.
right. Orange there. Protoss. We have all inspirations Drumhead.
I didn't even know that Drum's main was Toss actually. Thought it was Zerg.
No, Drum's always played Toss.
Oh. That's cool. Let's see what he does versus Zerg. Or what the Zerg does versus him. Let's see.
Hopefully die.
Yeah.
No bias at all, but hopefully he dies.
I mean, it's okay. He's not taking he's going pool first, which is never a good thing. Looking to be very aggressive here.
Yeah.
And this is, of course, a map where you need like 3 buildings to wall in at least. Is it even enough? Does look like an awful big gap here.
Yeah, this is quite a big wall to have to stop. I think if you move it back a little bit, you can do it with 3 buildings.
Okay.
But
Should work actually. I think if I look at it,
uh, I
places
think
the
that
second
might be,
gateway.
depending on exactly how it works out, that could be a too wide gap.
Okay. Well, taking its expansion behind this now is PsiX, building some lings. We will see what he will do with them. So far, only 2 pairs are being made, which is not a lot. Definitely not enough to build an early pool. Uh,
Yeah, if he'd been making more lings, then Drumhead could have been in quite a bit of trouble.
he's gonna run across now with the 4 lings, although no, he seems to be scouting with them or defending. I don't know. It seems
Yeah,
weird.
more lings than this would have been extremely hard to hold because Drumhead's not even completed the wall yet.
Oh, we're going roaches now. Okay, that seems to be a lot of tech this early in the game, especially when you're getting link speed as well. That's seems to be a big investment here, but let's see what Zerg's gonna do with it. I mean, he's gonna have a game plan. It's not gonna be his first ZVP.
Hmm.
Adept, shading it, gonna see everything.
Yeah, he really needs to see this roach warn and
And he
know
did.
what's happening.
Gets one probe here and is gonna sacrifice the adept for a probe. And scout, I guess that's okay. Overlord getting taken out as well, supply blocking the Zerg, which is always nice. And we have 3 roaches and 2 lings moving across the map with 4 more roaches on the way, so it's a 7 roach push.
Yeah, the first immortal should be finished about the same time the roaches make it across.
And I think
And
he just made a full wall here.
yeah,
Must have realized what's coming. And the roaches are going to be able to take down his gateway here.
yeah, he just needs to move that immortal close by, and he should be okay.
Did he forget warp gate?
Yes, he did.
Oh, well, that's not good.
That is really not good. Now the wall's going down as well, which means these roaches can just walk in.
Yeah, but the immortal can shoot at them finally now, but that's a lot of roaches now.
Yeah, even with the shield battery, that's still a lot of roaches. Especially with the lynx.
Yeah, the lings are keeping the stalkers back, of course. And we have
Now
Ravagers
he's
as well now.
fighting up. Now he's fighting away from the shield battery.
That's
Yeah.
a very strong build here. Very strong all-in for the Zerg.
It is a strong build, but Drumhead, I just don't like. I think if he hadn't forgotten the warp gate, he should have been okay. But forgetting that warp gate really cost him because he couldn't get any more units to shoot.
I mean, the gate is still going down, whether he gets warp gate or not. That 1 or 2 more stalkers are not gonna change anything.
Yeah, but a sentry can really change that because it
That's true.
like like even though a force field will only take up 2 out of the 3 spaces that are now open, like it still only leaves a 1 space gap that units have to funnel through, which is a lot better than them being able to just walk through in a group.
Yeah, you're true. That's true. That makes sense actually. But then, I mean, I don't know, man. Then it's just gonna take out the rest of the wall probably.
Yeah, but that's preferable to them getting in.
Okay.
Because as long as you can keep up that immortal production, you should be able to hold it pretty well. Like 2 gateways are easy to replace.
In the bottom left, our orange Protoss for all inspiration. It's Drummond.
And the top right for Psionic Aftermath, that's the pink Zerg. We have PsiX.
With the all-in taking game 1 here.
Was a very powerful build. A build
Yes.
reminds me of the old 6 Roach Rush.
7.
7, close
Yeah.
enough. It's been a while.
Yeah, I used to do that a lot actually. I liked it. Was very
It was
strong
a
for a while.
powerful build.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna steal that build, by the way.
It is a good build. You see it quite a lot on ladder.
Okay.
Like that's sort of what my opponent did when I played him like a week or two ago, except his was a slightly later version
Okay.
with more roaches.
Okay. It's gonna paint the GLHF there. I mean, why not?
Why not, indeed?
I feel it's underused, the paint feature, actually, to be
I
honest.
think most people just forget it's there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like when I'm playing a game, like the last thing I'm worrying about is my spray.
Yeah, makes sense as well. Nothing special here so far from PsiX, and also nothing special here from Drummet so far. Going for the usual Cybercore aftergate and expansion.
Yeah, Drum really likes leaving that wall wide open.
Well, he's
Yep.
gonna finish it once he needs it, I guess.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea.
I mean, 12 poolings would have just arrived. I'm not sure if 6 or 8 12 poolings are really gonna
The,
deter Protoss these days.
the only thing I'm worried about is that gap looks like another building would completely wall it off.
No, I don't think so.
Eh, like that is not a big enough gap for. That's not three. That's not four wide.
You don't think?
No.
Or might be. I don't know. If
Mm,
not, it's fucked, basically.
I don't know. It's very close. I don't know if it's just the weird angle these buildings are at.
Opting for the Stargate this game is Drumhead here, building a Stargate behind his main mineral line. Unbeknownst to the Zerg, but the Overlord Scout is coming in now. Let's see if he can spot the Stargate.
Yeah, the Overlord Scout's really important at this part of the game because it basically tells you what you're playing against.
Yeah, he sees the Stargate, so he's gonna put down some Spore Crawlers shortly.
So Phoenix. So more of the long game, less of the immediate damage.
Yeah, I mean, good to harass, good for map control. Very fast moving unit, the Phoenix.
Yeah, really good for taking out all these overlords the Zergs like to donate.
Not concerned at all at the moment is PsiX here not building Spore Crawlers yet.
Yeah, see, he had to build that robo quite far forward.
Yeah, indeed. Also, walling off with Adept's not a good idea.
Yeah, not amazing. If there's two of them, it's not as bad.
On the other hand, getting overloads with the Phoenix is very nice, of course. But there's not much to gain here. There's maybe 2 more he can pick off. Maybe
Yeah,
1 more.
a lot of people do just build the Stargate for a few Phoenix to try and make the Zerg go quick Hydras,
Okay.
and then like instantly swap to Robos and start building Colossus or some other sort of unit that's really good against Hydras.
Yeah, I mean, that's meta game. That's how it works. I mean, you can't try to force your opponent into the path you want him to play.
It is a big investment though. Like if your opponent doesn't go for it and just ignores the couple of air units, then you're in trouble.
Yeah, but if you can pick up like 3 or 4 workers, keep the Zerg on edge for some Spore Crawlers, it's gonna do damage.
Yeah, you don't tend to actually build enough to be able to pick up the units though. At most like one or two Phoenix.
Yeah, the Oracle always nice as well. Already got 0 kills stacked up, which is a lot.
It done well.
There's Zealots in the wall now as well, but only 1 Adept guarding the expansion so far. And there's a lot of stuff coming across the map again, a lot of Roach. Really likes his roaches here. Pansai versus Toss, going early roach.
He does have the immortal, so he should be okay. Might lose the third if he's unlucky, but nah.
Nah, he shouldn't.
Yeah, I
Some
don't think the
roaches
roaches
also
have
on
enough
the wrong
DPS.
side here. Bit unlucky for the Zerg. The pathing fucking him over here. Although maybe that was intended, I don't know. Maybe he wants to wrap around.
Does look like he's trying to attack for two directions.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a lot of roach now from both sides, and he's gonna clean up his army pretty easily. Immortal's not gonna stand versus this number of roaches. Gets taken out almost immediately. And of course, the Sim City is now not helping Drumhead at all here. Immortal's gonna pop out shortly, but that's a huge amount of roaches. He really needed that Immortal to stay alive. And with the
Yeah,
wraparound,
two immortals would have made this a lot more possible, but just one is not amazing.
and the G from Drumhead.
Yeah, crushing defeat this week, 6-1.
6-1 defeat for PSIX.
That's really unusual for us.
Yeah, usually it's very close with us actually, but this week it seems like we all fucked over pretty badly by the rules as well. I mean,
Yeah,
they all were significantly higher in skill. Most of them promoted just last week, which made them eligible for this week to play. But that's
yeah,
how it goes. I mean, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Anyway,
yeah.
thanks for watching. We're gonna be back next week with week 5. Bye.
Bye bye.